You see, there are things that power can take care of. There are other things it won't take care of. Only wisdom will take care of those ones. If you want to go far, eliminate excuses. The day you end excuses is the day you have given yourself permission to go far. So you see why the fivefold ministry is important. For the training of the saints in the work of ministry. So our job as pastor is not just preach. Train. Not everybody who is up there came from rosy background. Some lacked privileges and opportunities, but they fucked their way up there. Like the 4 lepers. Why sit we here till we die? They refused to make excuses for their position. They stood up and said, no way. Even if death will collect our head, let's go and die the death inside the city. Then stay here and die like nobody's. You think that you kill Goliath means that everybody will go to sleep? Every giant you bring down, get ready, more giants are coming. They gave Daniel food, the king's food. He said, no, we're not going to eat. Give us water and vegetable. Everybody's tearing chicken. Doesn't mean you should join them and tear. There's some things they give you in public. Put it in takeaway. Take it back home and devour it there. Grow yourself. Expose yourself. That's how you gain intellectual capacity. You have to distinguish yourself. The Bible says, and Daniel distinguished himself from the rest of the governors and the satraps and the rest of them. He was found 10 times better than others, and an excellent spirit was found in him.
Pastor Prince, thank you so much. Boko loves you. God bless you. That stadium meeting, you will see wonders. Thank you. God bless you.
Please, let's give him a big God bless you. Let's appreciate him. Let's do it better and better. Amen. I would consider that the need for wisdom in ministry. So title it like that. And I want to see the document, both the scripted document and the video, because when before you sit down, when a person, okay, you can sit down please. When a person talks, for me it's an opportunity to glean knowledge. Words are not just speeches. They carry power and they carry life. Just one thing, one word you hear can open you to massive dimension of possibilities. If you train your hearing, you would be amazed at the outcomes of your life. Many people have shortcomings in life not because there are no possibilities or opportunities around them, but there are little things they have not paid attention to. I hardly let words skip through. I can't be in a meeting and someone is talking and I listen. Listening skills is a very crucial skills in building a successful life, successful ministry or whatever. Your ability to listen. So I paid attention to everything he was saying. I paid attention. And I can tell you I've learned so much from that wonderful presentation. Wow. I want to honor God for the opportunity to be here again and thank every one of you for finding time to come to this training. Without training, reigning will be very impossible. You can't reign until you are trained. And this is a wonderful price you're paying. The discipline to sit down and learn. It's so shocking that even at my little level, there are things I hear that when people talk to me, my reactions will tell you that I'm still on the journey. I have all kinds of people who I work with around the world. And sometimes we have the privilege of interacting. You think I know nothing. You just hear me screaming, wow, 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 wow. You mean it, wow. And it fuels my hunger to go for more. You know, the worst place you can be in life is a place where you have no appetite for anything. It's the worst place. And just like a man can have appetite for food, natural food, what food is to your body is what information is to your destiny. Revelation. That's what it is to your destiny. Nothing fuels a man's hunger to pursue something greater, a greater cause, than listening to the right information. When Mr. Christian comes to do his session, there are some things he's going to say. We're talking, this morning, and he was sharing with me some dangerous opportunities in the agriculture business. And I shouted, I said, you mean these things are happening and a lot of us are not aware? I said, God, what is happening with the church? The church is sleeping. We need to wake up. The church is sleeping. Unbelievers are taking massive opportunities and we are just sleeping. You need to see how I felt. Even all the way while we're driving, I felt like crying, God, we're sleeping. And I have strong burdens now in my spirit in the area of the things he shared with me. That's how destiny flies. Always pay attention. Always pay attention to the right information. Be a hungry man. Don't be a man that is easily satisfied. Be a man whose passion is consistently hot, on fire. When you think you have achieved something and people are hailing you, tell them, I'm just rehearsing. There's yet more to achieve. Don't be too satisfied. Don't be too satisfied. I also want to thank our Father and our King, the Totiv. It's because of him that this kind of meetings are happening on free course, unhindered in Tiv Nation. I honor him so much and I revere him. He's going to be taking a course this morning also on family and marriage development. And he'll be here anytime from now. We're so privileged by God to have such a father at such a time as this. Very humble man, very accessible, very ready to help. And you can see the same trait in the life of the chaplain. Very down to earth and humble. Amen. Let's appreciate the King with a clap of hands. All right, I'm going to do the part 2 of the Principle of Learning just as fast as possible so I can finish up on that. There are a lot of courses. I pray God helps me unpack everything that I personally have and all that the speakers have. Please hit the slide. I'm supposed to be doing self-paced learning, if I'm correct. So I'm done with I told you yesterday that there are 2 models of learning. The first is what? The teacher-student model. Is that correct? And the second is what? The self-paced learning. Please, those of you on the projector have to really help me as fast as possible. We have no time to delay. So we're looking at the number 2 model of learning today, which is the self-paced learning model. And the self-paced learning model emphasizes personal responsibility, discipline, and initiative in learning. So why the first model involves 2 or more parties. This is not what you are supposed to put up here. Why the first model emphasizes a relationship between 2 or more parties, usually a relationship between a teacher and a student. Just like what we're doing now. This is the first kind of model, or the first model of learning. The teacher-student model. So in this context, I'm the teacher. You are the student. And this is an effective way of learning. When you attend conferences, attend seminars, you attend workshops, you attend even services, church meetings, and you listen to some other person teach you, you are engaged in teacher-student relationship. If you attend a formal school, maybe a university, you go for a course, maybe a professional course or whatever course, you have an instructor who guides you, who teaches you, who educates you. That's teacher-student model. And that model is very crucial. I think it was Paul who said, though you may have 10,000 instructors, he said, but you have one father. The idea for me is not about the fatherhood. The idea is about the instructors. He said, you may have 10,000 instructors. That tells you that as you journey through life and journey through ministry and journey through whatever business or whatever you do, there's need for you to find instructors who have excelled in the area that you want to adventure in. Can be ministry. Who are your ministry models? Can be business. Who are your business models? If you run a company, who are you looking up to in that field that have excelled, that can guide you, that can coach you? Then what kind of schools can you attend that can arm you with the skill sets, that can arm you with the professional competencies? You can't say you are a pastor or a minister and you have not attended ministry-related schools that can fashion you, can build you, equip you for ministry. I know many pastors attend Bible schools. When they feel they have a calling of God on their life, they go to a Bible college and get certification in Bible school. That's okay. One of my greatest turn-offs is incompetence. It makes me cringe, incompetence. Because let me tell you something about incompetence. The Bible says how children of this world are wiser than the children of light. If you've ever seen football teams play a match and one team beats the other team, let's say maybe African Cup of Nations or World Cup, one team beats the other team. The team that loses the match, do they celebrate? Do they go happy, rejoicing? Many times you see the pain, some even cry. I think it was the last African Cup of Nations or World Cup, I don't know which one it was. A certain Nigerian was watching the match, anticipating that Nigeria would win. And Nigeria did not win that match. They lost the match. And the guy took all his plasma TV, everything in the house, and destroyed it. Scattered it. I even heard that one, because of the annoyance, he slumped and died. That's how passionate people can be concerning what they have affinity to. I'm not just a pastor, I'm a kingdom person. Yesterday when the Queen shared something about the trafficking stuff going on with ladies, and the chaplain came and buttressed on that, right there and there, I had to carve out a meeting that we can do to address that. I didn't sleep last night because of that. I was in touch with my friend, Pastor Ken, and I started making other calls. I even spoke with my friend and brother, the state commandant of the NDCT, who is coming tomorrow. I spoke with him. I said, we have to do something about this. Because that's what God has made us. We are watchers over cities and territories. So when we come back for that, it's going to be massive. It's going to be heavily massive, because that's how I am. I'm a kingdom person. I know that I'm playing on the side of God. And if God is losing and Satan is winning, I can commit suicide. That's how it is with me. So things like incompetence, when you have the opportunity to do something for God, do it well, because you have competitors. And Those are the children of the dark world. If I'm a businessman, there's no way an unbeliever can beat me in business. It's like alcohol problem. If I see a city subdued by alcoholism, people are drinking, it's not just preaching alone that will solve it. It's providing an alternative system, something that people. So I begin to think of maybe develop a school that will help people understand the danger of consuming alcohol. That may be the first intervention I will make. After I've created that, bring in facilitators, health experts, then come in as a pastor, look for scriptures that will deal with that and provide help. The next thing I will do is to think of launching a business, come up with a product that is not alcoholic, but that will give those people who are addicted to alcohol a solution, something that is preferable than alcohol. So that at the end of the day, when you look at the kingdom of darkness providing alcohol, they will be on the losing side. And God's kingdom will be on the win. That's the way to think. If you are a Christian, don't just be a church goer, be a kingdom person, be like a player. Part of the reason why I submit myself to development is because anytime I have the opportunity to stand anywhere and unbelievers are there, it's a taboo for them to shine. To shine is a taboo. God needs to be magnified, not just in our worship, but in our life. It's not only in worship and prayer we magnify him. In our competencies we can magnify God. Look at Daniel, for instance. Look at Joseph in the Bible. If Joseph did not prepare himself well, Pharaoh, who was an unbeliever, will not even give him space to do anything in the palace. And that is an opportunity for God to now reign in that palace. So please, I'm saying this as an addition to everybody. Add diligence to ministry. Add diligence. Whatever you do, you're a musician, you are a pastor, you play on the keyboard, whatever you do. Some people say things like, this man is so multi-gifted and multi-talented. It's not, I don't think that is the issue actually. Is that I'm so passionate about the kingdom that I submit to a lot of training. Paul said, I've become all things to all men, that by every means I may be able to do what? Win some. All things to all men. All things to all men. I remember a group of young people who were having a beach party, and they were rapping, singing, doing their whatever, and they know me as pastor, doing all their. So I was around that vicinity, and I walked inside without a Bible. They had keyboard, they had drums, they had everything. They were having fun, drinking, smoking. And I called on them. I said, I want to do you guys one song, not a Christian song. I want to rap for you people. And I got, Pastor, you too, you rap. Pastor, you too, you sing. I said, just watch me. Just set the microphone for me. They set the mic. I went on the keyboard. And then did one R&B. It wasn't even a Christian church song. One love song. I did to show them that I love them and all that. By the time I was done, everybody was standing close to me. And they were ready for interaction. Why? Because I spoke their language. I spoke their language. Music. Entertainment. That's why I went to develop my music ability. That's why I went to develop my singing skills. When I come to Boko again for that program we're having in July by God's grace, I'll be giving out books to all the youth free of charge. They have materials I'll be giving. Why did I sharpen my writing skills? Because I know there's a way to arrest the generation. Davido, for instance. Davido. Do you know why they're able to influence young people? They speak their language. So, if you want to do ministry and succeed with ministry, you have to know how to use baits. There are baits to use. Sometimes their Davido use things like money. They use things like whatever. They just throw some things. And you see the young people gather in mass. There are things, if you promise young people, they will come. They will show up. You will see them in their thousands. They will show up. So if you don't have the skills, you may be the answer that God has packaged for a generation. But you see, it will be difficult for that generation to hear you because you don't have the skills to reach them. I had to touch on this so that please develop competence. And that's why schools like this are important. Develop capacity. Whatever you do, polish it. Polish it. Polish it until you become the best in it. You can't be on the media and they're telling you, give me my slide, and you are struggling. No. You can't do that. You can't be on the camera and you're supposed to be giving very quality and you are struggling. No. There's a young guy during Peter Obi's 2023 presidential election. That video, that picture trended everywhere. When he visited Lagos, there's this small boy. You remember that picture? That stood in front of his convoy. You know that picture? That video went viral. That small boy. The issue is not the small boy, he's a photographer. You know, when that picture started traveling viral and going everywhere, the boy became prominent. Even Peter Obi, I heard he gave him some money. He gave him scholarship. The part that most of you don't know is that people were asking, who is the cameraman? Who is the cameraman? Who was the guy that snapped that picture? And when he snapped it, he actually gave that picture a title. The title, I think, was something, The Embrace of Hope, or Embracing Hope. A new Nigeria is possible. That was a photographer. He snapped it, trended it everywhere. Do you know they finally sent for the photographer? I was really told that Peter Obi gave him 25 million. The boy is on scholarship, but the guy who took the photo, if not that guy would not be known. Just somebody being diligent with his photography work saw someone just standing in front of a convoy, opening his arms, and Peter Obi just smiling. He saw an opportunity in it. He didn't miss it. He went, snapped it, and posted it online. It went viral. And that was what gave that boy access to Peter Obi, got scholarship. But the photographer himself, if you know how many deals the guy has covered, calls that have come from every part of Nigeria and the world, so he can take epic pictures. And sometimes one of such pictures, they pay you millions. The same thing, somebody is snapping somewhere here, and they are pricing him 150 naira. And that person will snap it with creativity. And somebody will say, please, can you join me? I saw one of these real estate guys in Abuja, who is with me in Abuja there, sent me videos where he was giving his photographer a brand new SUV, brand new Jeep. He said, this guy has made work easy for me. He said, anywhere I go, the way he captures the moment, the way he edits them, the way he communicates and expresses the message in everything I do. He said he's making a promise beyond this car that any part of the world he's going to, starting from now, he will have a visa to all of those places. That he doesn't know who can help make his work that easy. Seest thou a man diligent in his business? He will stand before kings and not mere men. If you build your life to become so indispensable, you build yourself in such a way that when they are looking for who does your kind of job, they can't find two. You're the only one they can find. If you develop yourself to that level, your price value will be so high, people won't price you cheaply because you carry value that is very scarce. What makes things costly is scarcity. Oh, you think pure water is cheap? Wait until you can't find it in the market. That's the day you know it's costly. You think bottled water is just 200. Wait until in the whole Boko, it is only one crate they have. That's when you know that somebody can come and price that one crate of bottled water for as much as 3 million, if not 10 million. Safe. What you buy for 2,000. Value. Did you get something from that? That's why in the organizations I run, it's top notch for us. Capacity building. Capacity is top notch for us. It's top notch for us. Okay. So, this model emphasizes personal responsibility. So the second model of learning is the one you do for yourself. That's why it's called self-paced learning model. So it's the model that emphasizes personal responsibility, discipline, and initiative in learning. David, if you can give me a little bass on the mic, I would appreciate it. My voice is sounding almost like a woman's voice. Psalm 1 verse 2 said, meditate day and night. If you read Psalm 1, you see the Bible talking about he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water. Let's look at Psalm chapter 1 verse 1. Blessed is the man that... Can you get it us for us? Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. Verse 2. He said, but his delight is in the law of the Lord. So what makes this man blessed? His delight. What does he delight in? What is his delight is not in food. His delight is not in clothes. His delight is not in, he doesn't have time to waste time. He says his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doeth he meditate day and night. So every time you see this person, he's submitting to learning. Every time, day and night, not day or night, day and night. So there's a consistency he applies to learning. He's always learning something about something. He's always making research about something. His delight is meditating in the law of the Lord. Not just scriptures alone. Not just Bible alone. He has made his appetite, his drive, his craving, his pursuit, learning. Everything he lives for, learning. So look at what is going to happen to such a man in verse 3. Watch the end of such a man. He said, and he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water. Okay? That bringeth forth his fruit. Fruit there is results. He bringeth forth his fruit in his season. So you see, everybody has a season. There's a season for your manifestation. And what brings manifestation to bear is your season of preparation. I could talk to you about the 4 seasons of a man's life, but that's not what I'm here to do now. But one season that is very crucial in the 4 seasons of a man's life is the preparatory season. If you're a farmer, you understand the issue of season. There's a season called spring season, planting season. Before rain comes, every wise farmer knows that they must start preparing their seedlings. They must start preparing the ground. When the rain comes, they know time for planting is at hand. They start doing their ridges. They start building their heaps. They start doing all kinds of things to prepare the ground and get it ready for planting. That season is the preparatory season for farmers. It's not the harvest season. It's not the manifestation season. It's not the result season. It's actually the preparatory season, the incubation season. It's that season where they sow in tears. It's that season where they have to deny themselves certain comfort so they can pay the price for a bountiful harvest. So when a man has set himself apart and prepared himself, there's a season that comes upon that man. See, it's a first, and he shall be like a tree planted. There's a season of planting. In ministry, in career, in business, there's a season of planting. If you miss that season of planting, you will miss the other season, which is a season of bringing forth. The problem, sir, with many of us, many ministries, many ministers, many people, is that they want harvest where they have not made investments. You want to see crowd in your church. You want to see leaders. You want to see mighty men. You want to have branches all over the places. You want to have some compelling result in ministry. Question is there commensurate investment for the harvest you seek? I slept this morning at 1 or so. I was still awake. Even after yesterday's session, I was back, focused on some studies and stayed on it all the way till 1, slept. Who woke me up this morning were my children, my wife, when they called me on video call to greet me. And then once I got up, I knew the day had begun. Did my prayer, did whatever, and then. Because your height will only be a reflection of your depth. If you try to put a story building outside and the foundation beneath does not match the story building you're trying to build. There was a guy who was building 21-story building in Lagos. By the time he got to 19-20 floor, the thing collapsed. And he killed people. And the funny thing is that he killed both the man. Because the man was inside at Ikoyi, that twin-story building, 3 years ago. One Yoruba real estate guy. He was doing supervision with his guys. He was cutting corners. He used inferior rods. So there are places, engineering best practices specify you should use 20 mm rod. He went and reduced it to 10 mm. Just because he wanted to make big money and all that. So, by the time, and the foundation, it wasn't that deep to carry that stuff. By the time he put the building, he was going, he thought he was fine, until he reached his melting point, his breaking point. He couldn't go further. The whole thing collapsed. He was inside doing supervision. He couldn't escape. He died on the spot. This is why a lot of people have major defects and cracks in their life. Because they are trying to achieve a kind of result they have not built foundation for. And let me say this also. This is where a lot of ministers begin to dabble into all kinds of practices. Like in school, if you are a student and you didn't read your books, you didn't do your assignments, and it's exam time, what's the only thing you can do to pass? Exam malpractice. You cheat. And many times, if you are caught, you can be rusticated. It's a serious-minded school. Hey, let's even assume you are not caught. You do exam malpractice and pass the exam. If you become a professional tomorrow, people's lives are at risk under your hands. Let's assume you are a doctor and you excel through medical school, cheating all your way. By the time you are licensed to practice medicine, you'll be killing people. You'll be killing people. I heard of a particular woman, and it even happened in this book. She went to go and get injection. Just simple malaria. Just to go and get injection. The nurse mixed some wrong combination, injected her. That's how she just shook and died on the spot. In this your book, it happened a few weeks ago. Recklessness, carelessness. Why? People will not pay attention to details. Learning. So that planting season is preparation, and it shall be like a tree planted, all right, by the rivers of water. When I was reading this, I came to find out that these rivers of water is not just the presence of God alone. It's also that calm, still environment you create for meditation, for reflection, for study. Anytime you see water in the Bible, water is used to illustrate stillness. There are sometimes it's used to illustrate trouble. But when you see still waters in the Bible, it's talking about calmness, the presence of God. But many times too, it's not just the presence of God waters is talking about. It's also talking about fountain of wisdom. Because wisdom is like water. It flows. It's a current. So planted by rivers of water is not just, it's not talking about physical tree planted by water alone. Because you know what water does for trees is that it helps them to grow. When you water them, it's like giving them food to grow. You want a man to become an oak tree, a tree that is impactful, carrying result and fruit everywhere. You need to plant that man by waterside, riverside. What is the river? It's a stream of wisdom.
Can I say this and you shock you? The result you want to see in ministry is not in the ministry, it's in the minister. Many times we are looking for results outside us. Everything that will happen in your ministry and destiny will happen from you. It will come out of you. The Bible says, out of your belly shall flow rivers. These rivers of water is not physical water. It's a fountain of wisdom. But for you to flow the water, you must drink the water. You must drink from the rivers of water to flow it out. That's what flows to your ministry. All the numbers you're looking for, the crowd you're looking for, the souls you're looking for, the impact you're looking for, everything will flow from outside. From within you. It's not going to come from outside, from within you. You attract what you have become. You can't attract what you want. It is who you are become that you attract. So you need to pay attention to this. That is a position you must take. There's a place to be planted. One of the biggest responsibility of a pastor, I said it yesterday, is not to preach. Stay planted. Rivers of water. Stay planted. Rivers of water. Stay planted. Rivers of water. There's a season called the season of planting. It's your preparatory season. After that season comes another season. It's a season of fruit bearing. Another word for it is a season of manifestation. The season for showing forth. The season of results. The season of expression. And that season, when it comes, everybody will know that this man has been planted somewhere. Everybody will know you have
Been paying a price somewhere secretly. You see, like David, the day he showed forth and solved a major national problem, it was clear why. Bush. He was planted somewhere, building capacity, developing stamina, drinking from the rivers. And when he showed forth, that giant was just but bread for him. If you will pay the price for learning, if you will pay the price to give yourself to study, to give yourself to reading. Okay, get to the slide. There's something I need to show them and make a very powerful point. Get to the slide. Okay, before that, let's finish that scripture. There's something to show. That scripture, please. The same Psalm 1, 2, verse 3. Just go back. See, okay, that bringeth forth fruit in his season. So you see, that season is a new season of manifestation. After the planting season, there come a harvest season. Nobody plants and stays with planting season forever. Planting season must always finish, and then harvest season will come. So once that season come, it is only people who went to the farm and planted that will go back to the farm to go and reap. Those who didn't plant anything cannot expect harvest. They can't expect harvest. So seasons can come and go, and nothing changes in your life. Not because the season didn't come, but simply because you were not planting anything. You didn't plant anything. So harvest has now come. People are harvesting things. People are cashing out. People are going to the farm and smiling back home with basket full of yams, basket full of cassava. But you're the only one who is not coming back with anything because you didn't plant anything. Life is a function of garbaging in and garbaging out. If you garbage in nothing, you will garbage out nothing. So he said, his leaf also shall not wither. And whatever he does shall prosper. If you want me to teach you how to succeed, that's what I'm doing already. Learn. Learn. Nothing cripples the power of Satan like this thing. Nothing cripples the dominion of Satan over a man's life like this thing. Nothing cripples the activities and the operation of Satan like this thing. Let me show you. Ways. There are two ways the devil operates. Number one, the devil operates by what I call the power of darkness. The second way the devil operates is by the program of darkness. Let me explain it. How does the power of darkness work? And unfortunately, that's what many of us know in the kingdom. That's what many of us know in ministry. Power ministry. Is it beautiful? Yes. But it's just 20% of all the trouble troubling human beings. Power. Power. So the devil uses power of darkness to hold people. And when power is in operation, what you need is the power of God to deal with it. Is somebody hear what I'm saying? When powers are at work, maybe ancestral powers, books cannot handle those ones. What you need is power to deal with it. How many of you are aware that when Jesus died for man to save us from our sin, that exercise took only 3 days? Are you aware? He died, was buried, on the third day he rose. Salvation completed. But you are aware that he did ministry for 3.5 years. And it took several years from age 12 to 30 to prepare for that ministry. Are you aware of that? And then he did teaching, active teaching ministry, preaching ministry for 3.5 years. Then took 3 days to go to the cross, died, was buried, and then rose from the dead. So the one that brought salvation, which happened in 3 days, and the one he did for 3 years, which one is more powerful? The one he did for 3 years. That 3 days on brought us salvation. It's powerful, but do you know the one he did for 3 years is the most powerful of all of them? The most powerful. How do I know? When Jesus was going back to the Father, he said to his disciples, "Go ye into all the world and do what? Make disciples of all nations." He said, baptizing them in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. He said, teaching them to observe all things that I've commanded you. Question is, where did he teach those things? Those things he commanded the disciples. At what point was he teaching? Was it at the cross he taught it? Or before the cross? Before the cross. So salvation took place when he went to the cross. When a man is preached to and is born again, he gets saved immediately because of the power of the cross. But now for that man to be sustained in the faith, it is that work he did for 3 years that sustains the man. Okay, let me give you an example. Somebody is sick now. I want to tap into the finished work on the cross, because on the cross he took care of a lot of things. He took care of sicknesses, he took care of death and many things. Let me give you an example. If somebody is sick here now and he says, "Pastor, I am sick, I want prayer," and I pray for you and you get healed, power has handled your sickness. But what is going to keep you in health? Is it power? What will keep you in health? Knowledge. So knowledge is 80% the real deal. Power is just 20%. Power can get you out of the sickness, but you need knowledge to keep you in health. So what kind of knowledge will you need to stay in health? Eat right. If you are now healed from a sickness and you go back and do the things that brought the sickness, you will still be sick again. Then you come back expecting power. Okay, let's say poverty is a problem. Chronic ancestral powers holding your finances. And then you come and say, Pastor, pray for me. I even come to your village and break the curse of poverty. And as I prophesied and prayed, miracle money just hit your account. Somebody who has forgotten you many years just called you and say, oh, my brother, send me that your account. And you sent account, he sent you 1 billion naira. And says, I just want to bless you. And after sending you the money, 3 days after the man dies, he has sent you money. Now, you think everything has turned around. Pastor, thank you for praying. I am now prosperous. You come to church and give testimony. One of my uncles who forgot me sent me 1 billion. The whole church shouted, jump with you, dance with you. Then the next day, you are everywhere buying things you don't need. You start beer parlor. You call all your friends, your alumni from secondary school, university, join together. You throw party. And that night, you wasted 500 million. Then you call your girlfriends you have forgotten. You know, money amplifies your wisdom or your ignorance. It's not having money that is the issue. There are people you give money, it just exposes their foolishness. Others you give money, it exposes their prudence. It exposes their frugality, it exposes their wisdom. Next day you call the girls you were trying to check. None of them was accepting you because you had no money. Now you have money. So all the girls come, and they even came with extra girls. Then you find one hotel and declare public holiday there for the next 1 month. 2 months, you are there. 5-star hotel, you are in the suite, presidential suite. And you spend like the prodigal son. I hope you know they gave prodigal son money. Yet he came back poor. You can receive something by power and lose it by knowledge. By the lack of knowledge. So this man finally comes back to square zero. Everything has been gone. The issue is this. Wasn't he giving 1 billion naira? He was giving 1 billion. Why is he back to square zero? He lacks business management principles. He lacks financial literacy. He lacks principles of success. He lacks principles of frugality, principles of management. That's what he lacks. So you see, power brought the money, but lack of principles took the money away. The Bible says money maketh for itself wings and it flies from the hand of people who don't have knowledge. So see the two operations. Power of darkness can be dealt with the power of God. But there's something called the program of darkness. When the devil holds you in your mind, he has you for life. No matter the power we deploy, if he's working over time in your mind, and the way to cast out the program of darkness is not by prayer and power. The Bible talks about casting down every imagination and bringing down every high thing that exalts itself above what? Above what? Not above the power of God, above the knowledge of God. So you don't cast down mental stronghold by power. You cast it down by knowledge. You fight the power of darkness by prayer, by prophecy, by the supernatural. But you deal with the program of darkness by information. The entrance of the word, it giveth light. So when you buy books and arm yourself, you are dealing with the program of darkness. Because whether you like it or not, the devil does not just work with power of darkness. He works with program of darkness. Program of darkness. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Jesus said, I send you as sheep in the midst of wolves. He said, therefore, be as wise, be as harmless as a dove, and be as wise as a serpent. The serpent, which is the devil that we are dealing with, is not just a powerful serpent. He's a wise serpent. If all you know is just to attack him with your power, with your prayer, and you don't know how to deal with him with knowledge, he will win you. He will defeat that ministry. He will defeat that business. There were some clothes I needed to do laundry on, so I took it somewhere. I don't like people using ordinary iron on my clothes. So I love steam iron, because steam iron won't destroy the color of your clothes. It maintains it. So I started asking, where can I get a dry cleaner that can help me do a good job on this? In Boko here, I had some already iron, some were not iron. So some of my staff went to one or two places and they said they don't have steam iron. Then they found another place that has steam iron, but they can't use the steam iron because of light issue. So I said, okay, they should ask that person, is there any big laundry that has capacity generator to iron with steam iron? They said there's somewhere. I said, okay, let me drive down there. So they took me and we went there. When I got there, I saw the place. First thing, I was not happy. All the clothes they have already washed and put in nylons, dust on all of them. So I said, okay. So I asked the master, do you have steam iron? He said, yes. I said, don't touch my clothes with ordinary iron, please. He said, no problem. I said, how much is it? He told me. I said, no problem, I'll pay, provided you use steam iron. He took the clothes, gave his boy, and told him to iron it with a normal iron, because their steam iron was not working, and he didn't tell me. So I transferred the money to him, and then we got talking. He started showing me some of his machines and engines. He said this one he bought it for 8 million, that one he bought it for 15 million. He took me inside and was showing me. Almost all the machines are not working again. Dust everywhere. All the ironing, whatever, have been scattered, everything. So I noticed his boy was ironing normal iron. Maybe he forgot and he didn't know I took note of it. So I said, but sir, you are ironing with this normal iron. I said steam iron. He said, okay, yeah, he's going to use steam. I said, okay. We went around, he showed me washing machine, showed me this. He bought them very costly, but they are all grounded. Then all the environment, dust, you see dirty things were packed anyhow, rags anyhow. When he even ironed my white senator and was packaging it, the dust on the table followed the thing inside. All the cloth. I came back, I started looking for how to clean them out. And I said to my staff, nothing will ever make you go there again. Now that is not Satan fighting him by power. That's fighting business by program. Mental program. So you have money to buy those kind of equipment. You need knowledge on how to maintain them. You need knowledge on how to keep your business premises neat. You need knowledge on how to do administration. You need knowledge on how to train your staff. You need knowledge on how to talk to your customers. You need knowledge on how to keep your environment clean. You need knowledge in that area. So if people who come there see those kind of recklessness and they refuse to come, after some years the business shuts down. They will say his village people have followed him to town. It's not village people. It's you are doing business but you are refusing to grow. It's one thing to get capital and start business, but business capital, money is not the only capital you need. You need knowledge capital. You need all kinds of capitals. I can show you 12 business capitals now. Money capital is just one out of the many. I can show you. You need social capital, relationship capital. And this thing applies to ministry. It's not enough to just be an anointed pastor. You need human relationship skills. As a pastor, I can show you 12 ministry tools that you need beyond just preaching. You need administrative tools. You need administrative competence, management competence. You need social competence, how to relate with people. You need it. Do you know you need to learn how to talk to different people in your church? You have leaders, maybe people from the high class of society in your church. How you talk to those people is different from how you talk to the teenagers. Do you know how you talk to the women in your church is different from how you talk to the men? How you talk to the youth there is message for everybody. There is look at the God we serve. When he was writing letter to the 7 churches, he wrote different letters to all of them. to the church in Ephesus, right? If you read the letter he wrote to the church in Ephesus and read the letter he wrote to the church in Sardis, different content. That's the kind of God we serve. So you can't be a pastor writing the same letter to everybody in your church. What is the need of the youth? There's a message for them. Some of us, we host youth meetings and what we are preaching is not relevant to their time. Some of us host men meeting. What we are preaching, we host men meeting. What we are preaching, we host children's meeting. What we are preaching is not relevant to them. See Jesus, when he talks to his disciples, he has a language he uses to reach his disciples. Then when he talks to the heathens, he uses parables. His disciples once asked him, he said, whenever you talk to us, you speak in plain language, direct language. But when you talk to these guys on the mount, you cut it in parables. Why? He said, because to you is giving knowledge of what I'm teaching. You have understanding. I can teach it raw. I can be in church expecting people to come for a meeting, and then a leader is coming. And I will take him behind and wire him with rebuke. Why did you come late? Are you crazy? If you try it again, in fact, demotion, no salary, a suspension. Then another person will be coming even later than that person. Oh, my God bless you. How are you? Both of them came late too. You need to know the people in your church and where they are. You can't use the same instruction for everybody. You need to know this person, is he a newcomer? Is a newcomer, is he a baby? You treat him like that. The one you are giving chastisement is now a son. He's behaving that way. No, he should get bulala. But it doesn't mean because you rebuke this one, you go and get this other one and fire him. You do that, somebody will turn and walk away from your church and say, I'm not going to that church again. Can't you see how Jesus taught it? The parable of the prodigal son. When the younger son went and wasted everything and came back, the man opened arms and hugged him. The first son now got angry and said, Daddy, I've been here with you all these years, serving you very, very well. You have never killed me a cow, not even a chicken. You've not given me sandals. This one went and wasted everything, came back, you opened your arms to receive him. And the father said, you, everything I have is yours already. You've been with me on this business. You understand how we do things. You're a more mature person. So even if I don't kill cow for you, you know you already have the cows. But this one, there's a way he is. He likes pleasure. So if he takes the pleasure, he will run wild with it. It's better we put the pleasure inside the house for him, because kill cow, that's what took him outside. Kill it. Understand your members. So understand even your customers. There are people who enter your business premises. You should have eyes to know who is this person. You should have eyes. There are some people when they enter, even as a CEO, don't send your sales reps. Go yourself. You can't say, no, I have sales reps attending to everybody. My friend, if you're a sales rep, there's a kind of high-profile person. He walks into your office. There was a time Jesus sent his disciples 2 by 2 to go and minister. There was another time a certain man came that needed prayer for his servant. And people were the ones saying, sir, it is good for you to go because he is the one that built us a synagogue. Jesus didn't send Peter. He said, let's go. It was in the course of going that the man called and said, please, sir, I am not worthy for you to come. Just say a word. What learning we do in your life, you'll be so shocked. As good as the Bible is, this is not the only book you can read. The wisdom of everything you need is in the Bible. But the thing is that there are certain knowledge that has been expounded beyond scriptures. Like I wrote a book titled The Church in Babylon. If you want to be a Daniel, get that book. You want to be a Joseph, you want to be an Esther, You want to go beyond just pastoring in the church, and you want to pastor in the palace. You want to speak to people in the corridors of power. I work with the African Union. African Union is not a church. When I'm in the AU, I don't talk. These things I'm preaching here is not what you hear there. You hear something fad. You hear diplomacy. You hear international relations. You hear bilateral trade. You hear a different content comes out. And you won't even hear pastor. Nobody talks about pastor there. But sometimes the things we discover, because I have depth in the word, I see the wisdom of God. Like all these things are contained in the Bible. But now, there are materials that gives them social expression. Materials that give them economic expressions. Material that gives them diplomatic expressions. There are material that gives them legal expressions. Materials that give them governmental expressions. So you need to find those materials and study. Like that book, The Church in Babylon, is just one chapter of the book of Daniel. The criteria that the king was looking for in the life of Daniel, in the life of people who will walk in his palace, who will walk in the corridor of power. He mentioned those criteria, but now I took the criteria and expounded it and made it so contemporary to your contemporary life and business and ministry and all that. So you can say, no, the only thing I want to read is Bible. As powerful as the Bible is, you need to understand that there are literatures that have expounded on some of the themes. Some things you read in the Bible are just themes. God has given wisdom to authors, some experts in certain fields, to take those themes and expand it and turn it into a subject. If you refuse to read it, it's at your own peril. Back to my slide. I need to round up. Back to the slide. Who is learning something here? Is it making sense what we're saying? Yes. I wish I have the opportunity of bringing you to my library. You will see wonders. See what? All the books, there are thousands of books outside there. I'm going to get some of them and introduce some of them to you. It will shock you. Everything you meet there is on my library. I have copies of them. Maybe only a few that I don't have, which I've already said they should mark some of those ones, and I will buy them. I have one of the biggest, richest libraries in this country, if not in Africa. One of the biggest. So you come, you see different shelves for different things. You want to read administration, is there. You want to read on management, is there. You want to read on business, different shelf, and all of them have their different labels. So when you go out there, you'll see books on discipleship, you see books on church growth, you see books on, yes, even how to make disciples. I have one or two of my leaders I asked who pastor churches. In one or two, I asked to come for this conference. They came around. Even after yesterday's session, I had hours with them to educate them on some things. That's what Jesus did with his 12 men. It was only 12 men he poured this thing into. And boom. Many of us, because we just pastor people on the congregation, we didn't disciple them. So the people that would have been the extension of our ministry, we just end up losing them. Some of them travel, they relocate to different locations. Your church dies with them. It is not preaching that will raise a disciple for you. It's discipleship making process. And there are materials that explain how Jesus did it. And also materials that explain how other people who have succeeded with it did it. You want to know why Pastor Chris Oyakilome has ministries everywhere in the world? He's not preaching. There are many Sundays I don't preach in church. I don't even go to preach anything. I'm free from the pulpit, very free. What I do now is training. But I have all kinds of people preaching in their churches that are networked to the church I pastor. Somebody was in our church. He came in as an engineer. He's an engineer. And he does clothing. You know, he sews cloth and all that. Very professional. Has an international brand. and then I preach, but I also do discipleship. So sometimes I'm doing discipleship. I bring such people. I start giving them. Then opportunity came for him to go and do masters in the UK. I said, beautiful opportunity. There's no holding you back. Oh, yeah, start going. But you know why you're going there? He said, yes, sir. I said, why? Church. I said, good. That's how our church started in the UK. So you go there, he's giving me his report here, having their whatever and all that. He said, Daddy, please, when can you come? I said, my itinerary is, there's a way it is now, but be going. I can be with you guys on Zoom. When I branch that area, we'll see, but just be moving. That's how I started. All the mega churches you see, call it Christ Embassy, call it whatever, that have talk of churches all over the world. Their secret is discipleship. That's why you will never see me go for a conference anywhere without carrying some of my leaders, maybe few of them that I want to grow. I pick them. Sometimes I pay their registration. Sometimes I pay their flight. Sometimes, in most cases, we finish. I will send them to the bookstand. I say, go and buy everything you see on that stand. Buy copies each. Because you will have rest as a leader when you raise foot soldiers. How many of you have seen me in your church coming to talk to you about this conference? You won't see me there. You won't see me knock on your office and say, please, we're inviting you for a conference. There are foot soldiers who do the job. So one can be happening here, another one can be going on somewhere in Jos, another one can be, plannings can be going on in different places. So I'm finishing from here, I'm in another city. I'm finishing from there, I'm in another city. You're wondering, how is it happening? See Dr. Paul Enenche, how do you think he's able to go everywhere? Every week, he can have 4 different crusades. Foot soldiers. Rugged administration. Rugged administration. You don't get there by preaching. It's by spending time in discipleship. Then transfer that ministry and the burden that God gave you to those men. They have to come to a place of ownership. They have to come to a place of alignment. You need skills on how to deal with rebellion in your church. You need skills on how to deal with disloyalty in your church. Most pastors are carrying pains and heartache because the people we should have trained were entertained. So that person was growing with wild, weeds around him. Prune it. Jesus taught in John chapter 15. He said the Father is a vine dresser. The Son is the vine, and we are the branches. So any branch that abides in me and I in him shall bring forth fruit. But it's not just that. Jesus also talked about the pruning of the branches. That he prunes the branch so that the branch can even bring forth much fruit. Pruning is part of the ministry. It's not buying a cane and whipping people and say you're pruning them. Don't do that in your church. That's not how to prune. You prune with the word. It's not with preaching. It's not night vigil that prunes people. It's that time of separation where you take a team of people. It can be 12 people. You take them, you sit down and discuss. They have to know what God showed you on the mount. They have to know what God showed you as a vision. And not just that, they have to also know what their role is. There are most people who don't know their role in the church. So they are part of a church. They don't know what they are here for. The only thing they do is to sweep. They've not been trained for anything meaningful. So they get tired at some point and they take a walk out. Or they start creating problem here. In ministry, you need to understand that there are 3 phases. There's a phase of discovery. Oh God. There's a phase of development or discipleship. And there's a phase of deployment. Everyone who comes to your church has to go through these 3 phases. If you bring in people into the church and lock them at the phase of discovery, that's the entry phase. And they keep staying there and keep staying there and keep staying there. Watch. What you're going to have after a few days, a few years, is troublesome church members. They are the ones that will cause you big headache. They are the ones that will gossip you. You know why? They have no work doing. And when they don't have kingdom work doing, they will give themselves work. You become their work. They will gossip you. They will gossip your wife, because nobody will be neutral in nature. Everybody must find something to do. I hope you know that the biggest assignment God gave man was to work. After he created him, put him in the garden, he said, till this garden. So if you don't give man work, they will find one for themselves. That's why nations must take issue of job creation serious. You don't give your youth jobs, they will find one: criminality. You create unemployment in your city, you will get jobs. A lot of criminals, they will employ themselves. You don't create job for your girls, they must give themselves jobs. Prostitution and hookup. The same thing in ministry. Ministry is work. I must do the work my Father has sent me. Now that it is day, he said, for the night cometh when no man shall walk. So the essence of man is work. The essence of ministry is work. So discovery is entry phase. When you win souls, it's discovery phase. People are now discovered, you bring them into the ministry, but you need to discover their potential, discover their gift, discover their abilities, discover their unique callings, discover what they have passion for, discover what they love to do. Then after discovery, you now move to development. Oh God, I have all kinds of schools. I have schools of talent development. So there are some people who will not go to Bible school or go to school of ministry at first, but they are in your church. It can be school of talent. In that school of talent, as they are learning how to develop their potentials and talent, they're also learning other things that will help them become ministers. Hello? I hope you know there are two kinds of ministry. There's ministry on the pulpit, and there's ministry in the marketplace. Everybody in your church will not be on the pulpit, but everybody is a minister. Some will be minister on the pulpit, others will be ministers in the marketplace. So you must have different platforms that train people for ministry. Ministry is simply work. Meeting needs is work. Oh, these ones like drama. Create a school of movie, a school of drama, and start training movie stars in your church. Start showing them problems in the city that we want to solve with evangelism. While you preach your own on crusades, tell them preach your own in movie sets. Turn that my message on Sunday to a movie. Yeah, ICT, social media is a platform. There are people you can do school of social media, school of technology. Because if people don't find work to do, they create one, and the one they create will be very disastrous. So that development phase, important. After development, you now move to deployment. That's a stage of release. You have to release them into that assignment. They have to find something doing. Then that's how to sanitize that church. You keep it clean and keep it free from cankerworm. Gossip won't come near because the lady is busy. Slander will not come near because the young man is busy. That's why it's hard for us to gossip. Have you ever seen us gossiping anybody? Because it's vision, work. There's work to do. So anytime we're talking work, you will never see me speak against anybody in this world. No time. You will never catch that. Because there's work to do. So when ministers don't have work to do, they have a ministry but they are not working. You see what they start doing? They start looking for who is working. And they start tearing the person down. They start looking for chaplain. You see, he's doing work, he's busy there. Is chaplain the only person? This program, why is this running up and down? Making sure there's light, making sure the team are comfortable. Why is he overburdening himself? You start talking because you're not working. Learning. How many of you are learning something here? I hope I'm not wasting your time. When you finish from this school, you will go and restructure your whole church. You will restructure. I can give assignments. If I have the privilege of mentoring some of you, get ready, you won't sleep. I ask my team, back to back. Get this report, get it to me quickly. As you're finishing it, there's another one to do. That's how I save you from gossip. So that lady who wants to call you, sister, we have this to talk about. Sorry, pastor gave me assignment and I have to deliver it. So Miss Books, go and buy the books, read it, review 1 or 2 pages. Next service, you're going to do a talk show. So I find 7 persons, read this book, or I give my tape. Listen to this tape, review it, write a script, type it, send it to me. You don't send it on WhatsApp, or you type it and send as document. Because when you're sending it to WhatsApp to me, it means that I'm not training you well. I'm training you to be a professional. So you will write it as a proposal. You will write it as a business plan. You will write it professional and send to me. Now read it, I'll score it and give you the next assignment. Discipleship is the key ministry of the church. Develop the people, deploy them. So maybe you came here and your leaders are not here. Kai, sir, ma, with every respect, that's not right. They will give you a headache. You have to pack them. Meetings like this finish, you go to the stand. I think there are some books that are on discipleship. There's one titled How to Do the Work of Ministry. Find me some of the copies and get me. There are some of those books we have, written by some great authors. Those are the kind of material you find your leaders. Read it, summarize it. Read it. So go and buy one, summarize it. Bring it for me. Let me see what you understand by what you read. Sometimes book review, you come together as a team, sit down. Oh yeah, read first 2 pages. This one will read. What do you understand by that? It tells you. You may think it's not making an impact. You'll be shocked the result. I'm telling you what has worked for me. I'm telling you what has worked for other people. Oh yeah, it's your turn. Read the next 2 pages. The person, I'm telling you what works. This is even one of the idea of what you call self-fellowship. Home cell is to create small churches where people can have time to share in fellowship. If you have cell leaders in your church, they don't even need to be pastors of churches. I think I'm going to do a course on how to run a cell anytime soon. We even have books on that there. If you have leaders you can train to do self-fellowship, that is you raising powerful pastors that you don't know. Cell leaders can become one of the most terrific pastors that you have in your church. They can turn down their house where they come to gossip and talk about things that are not working in the church. Did you see the kind of clothes pastor wore to church today? Did you even see the one the wife wore? The cloth didn't even reach the news. It was here. Did you see the makeup she wore? The makeup is not even fine. This eye was red, this eye was green. That house now becomes an altar for God because you have deployed ministry to that house. Okay. So, if you look at other scriptures, okay, let's go down. I need to round up on this. I'm expecting Daddy anytime so he can take over his course. But, okay. Yeah, get me the books here. So this model thrives on personal study, yeah? This model also thrives on reflection. You need time to reflect. I'm going to select some of the books myself there. This one is Called and Committed, World-Changing Discipleship. You see? A kind of material that your people should. Radical discipleship. And they are so affordable. This is Making Disciples. You want to turn those members to disciples. That's okay. This one is Ministry Staff Member. You run a church, you have a team of staff working with you. They need this book to know how to be. If you see the way we communicate, my team, protocol, that order is needed in ministry. Ministry shouldn't be a place where people do things anyhow. You go to Dangote establishment, or you go to bank like UBA, you want to see Tony Olimilu, or you want to do something there are protocols. There are people you meet that meet certain people that meet certain people. There is a chain of command. I go to some ministries, there's nothing like that. Pastor can be having counseling, another person just batching. Bah! So I said, let me come and know whether today we can still have our meeting. And he's having a meeting already. So where is the staff that receives the people? Where is the staff that takes appointment? How do you book appointment for? Where is the staff that helps with all that? What about employment? How do you employ? How do you do remuneration, salary and all that? Who is your human resource manager? Who is your administrator? These are key things to set in ministry so that when people come there, they have respect for God. This is not even about you. Respect for God. When unbelievers come there, they have honor for God. Yeah. Who cleans the office? Who cleans the church? That your office is called an office doesn't mean it's a place where you keep everything. There are things that should not be found in an office. If I have time, I would do office management in this school. I'll teach you office management, how to run office. What should be in your office? What should not be in your office? The key stuff you need in your office, the ones that are not necessary, but the necessary ones you need in your office. How to write a memo and all kinds of things. All kinds of things. Oh, this one is the making of a leader. This one is discipleship uncomplicated. You see? This one is the pastor's premier. There are more than this that are there. But you go and look through for yourself. Okay. So this model thrives on reflection. Yes. As we close. Please, sir, go on. This model thrives on reading. Are you seeing that? This is how to do personal, self-paced learning. It thrives on reading. This model also thrives on prayerful meditation. So don't just read and dash out. Read and meditate. Read and ponder. Part of what you do when you ponder is that you think of how to apply what you have read. Okay, this model also thrives on listening. Listening to messages, to tapes. Watching the right videos, messages. Listening to podcasts. And sometimes it's not even just church-related messages. Also listening to news. Because as a pastor, you need to be versatile. You need to have vast knowledge. Listening. Okay. So both models are complementary. They are not competitive. You need both of them. So while you do teacher-student model, submit to a mentor, you also need to, on your own, learn. Self-paced model. All right. Next slide. So there are 4 purposes of learning. Let me run that and I'll be done. 4 purposes of learning. Joshua chapter 1 verse 8 is very instructive. He said, this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt continually do what? Meditate in it day and night. And thou shalt observe to do according to all that is written in it. And thou shalt make thy way what? Prosperous. And thou shalt have what? Good success. So, there are 4 major purposes for learning. Why do we learn? Why did you come for a school like this? Why did you come for a training like this? Learning is not complete until these 4 purposes have been exhausted. Why many people go for trainings and they leave the same way they came is because they don't understand the purpose of learning. Learning has a purpose. The first purpose of learning is information. That's the stage of knowing, information. So I'm talking now and you're getting information. You get a book, buy it and read, you get information. You're listening to a tape, you're getting information. But that's the elementary, the first stage and the first purpose of learning. Many persons stop at that level. That's why they don't get results. So if you read Joshua chapter 1, you see that first stage. this book of the law shall not depart out of my mouth. That's the stage of information. So learning begins with knowledge and awareness. Information is the cure for ignorance. The greatest mountain confronting man is ignorance. What a man does not know is bigger than him. So when you start with information, you have started well. The first cure for ignorance is at least know. At least know. Go to school. Whether it's formal school, informal school, training, ministry school, leadership school, school of administration. Buy the books, read them. If you don't find the school near to you, you can even use your phone. Your phone can do magic. There are courses you can go online and pay for. And some of them are affordable. There are some very, very costly. There are some that are as costly as, in fact, in dollars you pay for them. But there are some within your local palace, Nigeria here, you can find them online. Register administrative courses, system building courses, and all kinds of stuff. And submit yourself to it. Because that's the cure. Information for ignorance. Please, the next slide. Next slide. If you look at Proverbs 2 verse 6, it says, for the Lord gives wisdom, from his mouth comes knowledge and understanding. Proverbs 18 verse 15 says, the heart of the discerning acquires knowledge, for the ears of the wise seek it out. Proverbs chapter 2, it says, my son, if you accept my words and store up my commands within you, turning your ear to wisdom and apply your heart to understanding. You see? Yeah, next slide. So after information comes the next stage, is transformation. The first is the knowing stage. The second is the being stage. The being stage. So it's not enough to know something. Can that thing change you? The purpose of information is to cause transformation. Any knowledge that can change you is not true power. It's not just knowledge that is power. It is knowledge that has transformed you that is real power. The purpose of learning is to be informed, but take it further from information. The purpose of knowledge is to be transformed. The Bible said, do not be conformed to this world, but be ye transformed. Romans chapter 12, by the renewing of your mind. Oh, you now know that if you do this and do this, you will get this result. Don't just keep it in your head. Go and practice it. Transformation will happen. So true learning reshapes character. It reshapes mindset. It reshapes identity. Learning that doesn't change you is incomplete. Learning that doesn't change you is not complete. So information is the first purpose. Transformation is the next. Let's go to the third purpose of learning. Application. You see? Everything you are learning here, don't just know. Don't just be. Do. Application is the third purpose of learning. Application. What you have learned, practice it. The Bible said the things that Jesus both began to do and to teach. He had learned, acquired information. Information had now transformed him, but he didn't stop at transformation. He also practiced application. 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 Put to work everything you learn. If you learn something, don't just know it, go and practice it. You learn about self-fellowship, go and start one. You learn about how to disciple, don't just say, Kai, thank God, that man enlightened us. In fact, the school was powerful. If you see the things we learned about structures and systems, about discipleship and this, my God. No. Go and practice. Don't just talk about what you learned. Go and practice it. Oh, you learned something about office administration. Go and practice it. Learning will not profit you until you practice. Learning will not give you results. It won't give you any outcome until you put what you have learned to work. You see, it's not the tools available to you that makes any difference. It's the ones you use. If you go to farm with all the farming implements and you don't put them to use, nothing will happen on the farm. Is that okay? It's not all the books you buy that makes all the difference. You buy the book, you spend time and read them. Doing. That's why the Bible says in the book of Joshua chapter 1 verse 8, whatever he does, it prospers. Whatever he does. Psalm chapter 1 verse 1. Whatever he does. It's not whatever he knows. It's whatever he what? He does. Whatever he does. Whatever he does. So knowledge must translate into obedience and action. James chapter 1 verse 22 says, be ye doers of the word. Not just hearers. Hearers are the level of information. When you hear, you are the level of information. But when you do, you are the level of application. And the Bible says, do not be hearers of the word alone, deceiving yourself, but be ye doers of the word. So revelation unused becomes stagnation. When information or revelation is not deployed, it becomes stagnation. Please, the next slide. That's why I might stop. I won't finish everything on this. There are many more. I will just stop here. Implication. The fourth purpose of learning is implication. So learning produces measurable fruits and results. Implication. Fruits and results. That's the outcome. That's the stage of having. Implication. So implication is a direct product or the byproduct of application. You want to see result? Application. Application gives birth to implication. There will be no implication without application. What is the implication of a man and a woman meeting? What's the implication? Pregnancy. Without that application, there will be no implication. So you want to see positive implications in your ministry, practice what you have learned. All right, there are scriptures there. Read them on your own later, Let's move to the next because of time. I'm done. Hindrances to learning. Pride. You can copy the scriptures there. Proverbs 16:18. Read on your own. Laziness. Distractions. These are the hindrances. Familiarity. When you become too familiar with the sources of learning, maybe the teachers, your mentors, someone knows better than you, but because you know him too well. The Bible says Jesus couldn't do so much in his place because the people knew him. So it hindered him from doing a lot of things. Not because he didn't have capacity, but the people were familiar. I said something yesterday and I want to say it again. Even if it's Satan that knows something I don't know, I learn from him. If it's a boy that knows something I don't know, I learn from him. It's only in the church our priesthood makes it hard for us to learn. Once you are anointed and you have, it's easy for me to teach in the university than teach in the church. Because it's a secular environment. Religious environments, if you're not humble, you can't learn. So I can be in the university teaching and the person who is sitting down there and listening is a local government chairman. The person who is sitting down listening is a senator. The person who is sitting down listening is a minister of, and he will become, hello sir, hello doc, hello sir. Sir, this assignment you give, bring it to church. You see the same person. Pride, laziness, distractions, familiarity, fear of change. So when you are too accustomed to what you have known all the years, you don't want to try something new. You want to play it safe. Fear of change. The next slide, please. Common excuses people make for not learning. Let's look at some of the excuses. Why do some people not learn at all? I already know this. Number 2, God will reveal it to me directly. I hear from the Lord direct. Even if your name is Moses, even if you're Elijah, God will reveal it to me. While I was sleeping, God appeared in my dream and revealed it to me. Spiritual pride. And I, Daniel, understood by books. Have you not read it? Daniel chapter 9, verse 2. Daniel was a major prophet. He heard from God directly. He could interpret handwriting on the wall. He knew what the handwriting was. Yet, the same Daniel who heard from God understood by books, the books of the prophet Jeremiah. He studied it to know how many years the children of Israel were going to spend in desolation. He read by books. Okay, I'm busy. School is not spiritual. You know, let me say this before I forget. When it comes to learning, when it comes to sharing knowledge that will enlighten people, I don't beg people. Do you know why? Any person you beg to learn will never be grateful. In fact, he doesn't know the value of what he's learning. Number two, if I beg you to learn, it means I'm foolish. I am trying to share by force something working for me. The best thing a person can share with you is not money. Is what works for him and what works for others. Best. When a person shares knowledge with you, you know what he has done? He has shared his success with you. He has shared his secret with you. That's why people place price on it. What you are getting here free, you don't know what it is. People place price on it. I'm not the kind of person looking for people to teach you. What I know, I preserve it. Arrogant people cannot access it. It takes level of humility and teachability for you to access hidden treasures, hidden secrets. So when I see a person who is too pompous, too familiar, you know what I do? I just walk past gingerly. In my heart, I'm like, thank God, what I know, you don't know. So I will keep ruling over you. I'm in Boko now. There are people who I know who should be here. I have not seen them. I'm not disturbed. I finish, I enter my vehicles and drive away. Where I'm ruling and having my dominion, you don't know the secret behind it. You don't know what I know. So I know somebody knows something. Here, I put my head under. I sit down and learn. Once I get that thing, add to what I already know, I have more edge. I don't know where we get that spirit from most of the times. Never compete with who knows better than you. Even if you know him. Never compete. You will never go far. Never. Never. I'm too busy. School is not spiritual. That's for many Christians. Why should I go to school? I should go for revival meetings. I should go where the thing is quaking. You see, as I'm talking small, some of us, the thing is boring. It's boring teaching that helps you better. All this boring, small talk. I know you want charisma. Sharabosha, Karabosha, Gear 1, Gear 2. I enter. I'm in your village now. I see your house address. As I go, I enter your street, and the keyboardist will be giving with the drummer. Jam, 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 jam. Come on. Papa, prophesy. He said, can I probe? Can I go deeper? And if the guy knows how to sing, they'll be transposing for him. Can I go deeper? Yes. Shout. You are getting close to your grave. You don't just know. Headache. God didn't call you for all that. It doesn't mean it's not necessary. As good as it is for babies. Solid food are for men, for mature men who through use have their senses exercised. Solid food. I deployed that supernatural and prophetic. Even amongst mature sons, where it is only necessary. Like I want to bless the people, confer the patriarchal blessing or the prophetic blessing on them is a different thing. But that doesn't mean it should become my syllabus. It should become my curriculum. I can't raise nobody like that. You finish, you go to the office, you're having headache. You're looking for Panadol. And then the members will help and kill you fast. You say, hi, Papa, today. Hey, Papa, the anointing. And you'll be feeling like somebody. Jesus didn't have that time. Molding men. Molding men. You only use that side of ministry, that tool, to harvest the harvest. It's for the harvest. That's why Jesus multiplied fishes and bread. Jesus multiplied fishes and bread when he was talking to the harvest. People he wanted to bring into the kingdom. But when it was time for him to eat with his disciples, he didn't multiply. He sent them to go and buy food. The well side, the woman by Samaria, the well side. He sent them, he said, go to the city, go and buy food. Does it mean he doesn't have power to multiply? Save yourself the pressure of miracles. Save yourself that pressure. You will last long in ministry. Save yourself that pressure. You can use supernatural, use miracles and grow church. It can grow, yes. Because it attracts the people outside. They will come. When they come, know when to switch. You can do it a few times. Go carry. I do it though. If you see what I'm doing, you like, you see this man was talking small like this. But when I'm talking to pastors, that's not what I came to do. That's not what I came to do. I'm training ministers. I shouldn't be doing that. A lot of us can do it already. So why should I come and be displaying again? We now need knowledge. So that work will outlive you. One thing you should be pursuing is that as you draw closer to living this world, that work won't live with you. It will outlive you. Are you not thinking about succession? I have succession in mind. I want to live a work that outlives me. When I leave this world, that work is still growing big and growing big. So what gets that done is a very serious thing. Do you know what it means to transfer your vision to people? People with their independent mind. People with their independent way of thinking. With their different modus operandi. People with their different direction. Then you now need to replicate yourself in them. Reproduce your vision in them. Is work. Jesus, who is our perfect role model, did the thing for 3.5 years. All the people he even tried to raise began to misbehave at some point. At the point where they were taking Jesus, Peter, who he had spent time teaching things, they accused him. You've been with this man, saying, me? Come, Oga. He walked away. James went back to fishing. John, everybody moved. They went their way. When Jesus rose from the dead, do you know what is funny? The 50 days he had before he ascended back to the Father, he didn't go doing miracles, signs, and wonders. He called them back and continued discipleship. When he was going to the Father, he said, all the things I've taught you, all the things I've commanded you, take it and teach others. Go and teach nations. Make disciples the same way I've made you a disciple. He knew what was important. He knew what legacy. He knew the difference between posterity and prosperity. Most of us is the pressure of money, I know. The pressure of we need the car, we need the money. So prophecy can bring out money. Hi. Yes. Prophecy can give a church prosperity. Miracles can give a church prosperity. Healings can give a church prosperity. But it won't give you posterity. Because the people you're giving miracles to can come take miracles. Once they've gotten it, they leave. All this church migration going is because of that. So you think you're anointed. Wait now. An anointed person is coming to town. When you come and put his signboard opposite your own, you'll be shocked. The brothers who have been coming, sisters who are coming, we walk past your church and look inside. It's like pastor never come. Oh. Okay, he don't they preach. Oh, now well done. Oh. It's the next church opposite. You see, pastor is now bitter, heartbreak. So before you think that those your members are your members, think again. When they see raw miracle than the one you produce, they will move. John the Baptist had disciples. When they saw Jesus turning water to wine, they say, are you people staying in this church? We took our leave. They moved. All the people Jesus gave 5,000 bread and fishes. How many of them were disciples? All the people who drank his wine, how many of them became disciples? But see the ones he spent time with. Those ones may have not given him prosperity, but they gave his work posterity. So even when Jesus has left the world, the man's impact is still speaking. Why? Peter caught the vision. John caught the vision. James caught. This is where you need to learn patience in ministry. Some of the people who you are raising now may not be able to give you the word, but give them time. Give them time. They will be the men that will be holding you, supporting you, taking your work everywhere. And the posterity will come with prosperity still. You have to choose the one that is important to you. Is it the money? Is it the prosperity or the posterity? If you get the prosperity and lose posterity, but you can get the posterity and finally, please let's rise on our feet as we receive our Father. Good morning. Let's say good morning, Daddy. I think I like that one. Let's say it again. Please, let's say what he said. Please, how did you say it? Say it alone. Let me learn it. Please, let's say it the way he said it. It's now very deep. God bless you. Please, you may be seated. You're welcome, Daddy. Amen. So you choose. The thing with posterity is that you will delay gratification because you will not be seeing the goodies at first. Other pastors may be flashing the jeeps, may be driving the big convoys. I know many of them that were like that. Today they've disappeared. They are nowhere. Then the ones who were nowhere before that took time to build men, they are the ones who are now reigning. That's the key to ministry. And that's what Jesus did. Posterity. Ministry that focuses on raising men, investing in men, investing in people. Then in the long run, it pays off. Okay. So, school is not spiritual. That's what most people think. Experience is enough. I have experience, so it's enough. But you need knowledge to back experience. I don't have money to invest in learning. It's another kind of excuses people make for not learning. Okay, the next slide as I close now. Am I done? How to cultivate a culture of learning. Develop hunger. Schedule learning time. Submit to mentorship. Ask questions. Review and reflect. Okay? It's self-explanatory. Let's go to the next slide. Characteristics of true learners. So what are the futures? They are humble. They are curious. They are inquisitive, very curious. They are teachable. They are disciplined and they are consistent. Yeah. Next slide. Practical ways to invest in learning. Read books, attend teachings and trainings, take notes, ask mentors questions, review teachings regularly. And there are scriptures to back that. Am I done? Are they still much? I think I have a few. So, okay, go back to the next one. Okay, whatever. I will send the slide because I want to stop it here now. I'll send the slide. Please do make sure you have your names on the register so that we can send you the course materials through WhatsApp or your emails, whichever is convenient for you. Have you been blessed by this teaching? Please, we're going to do all we can to close early today. Just shortly after now, our father will be up. His session is the next. He's not coming to give us an opening speech. He's one of our facilitators in this school. And we are humbled to have our king as one of our facilitators. I told him this morning by text, I said, I'm looking forward to learning from you. And so my pens and papers are ready to learn. shortly after the King session, we have 2 other speakers that will come. After the King session, I think we're going to have a little slight break. Then we have Mr. Christian is going to be teaching us on, he's going to be taking a very crucial business class. You need to hear him. He's deep. He's deep. He's deep. You need to hear him. Then we have one of my daughters who will be coming also to take us on a course that is very important, ministry and legal framework. Very important, so that your ministry would know, you need to know the nitty-gritties of ministry and how it relates with the law of your nation. So that's a very important course. You can't miss that. So these 2 courses will be coming shortly after our daddy has come.